first and foremost, I have no problem with Chelsea Green winning the U.S. Championship. It's just like, my God, they mistreated Julia like crazy. First of all, the match was only like 3 minutes. You could at least give him like an extra 2 or something, right? Push it to 5, but 3 kind of crazy. It's just somehow, some way, we got an even worse title reign with Julia than we did with Zelina Vega. I didn't think that was possible. Like, considering she was like an up and rising prospect in the women's division. Like, she was rivals with Stephanie Vaquer down in NXT. She won the NXT title first. So it's like, yeah, I thought, okay, she's gonna do big things over on SmackDown. Women's Championship not too long after she debuted. She finna cook. But then she just disappears. Like, she barely appeared. Kiana James appeared more than her, which is kind of crazy. I get it. She's like the manager, bodyguard, Paul Heyman type that actually wrestles. But, like, you know, come on. She defended it, like, what, twice? It's like, what was this reign? Like, I don't get it. Like, she I don't know. But shout out to Chelsea Green. Once again, no problem with her winning it. I enjoyed her original title reign, and she's finna go. She's finna make this match entertaining. Hopefully she can bring something back to this title, because this title lost all aura. But Cody opened up the show talking about, oh, we didn't choose in the past, we looking to the future, yada yada yada. And then Aleister Black comes out. He's like, you know what, let's fight. He's like, alright, bet. And then main event, everything was going fine. They was having a pretty good match. And then, of course, Drew gotta ruin everything. Comes out, Claymore's the ref. They started brawling, and then Premium Priest comes out. They start brawling, and Drew just gets suspended. I'm like, dang. Nick Aldis is tired of Drew. He is tired of his shenanigans. He is over it. It just ended abruptly too. It's just, Drew, you're suspended. Drew gets up the ramp, and the show just ends. Like, it was kind of abrupt. But it looks like we're getting either a fatal 4-way at Survivor Series or a tag match. I don't want to see a tag match. Hopefully it's a fatal 4-way. Maybe they just do the triple threat and then Drew like comes in later or something. I don't know. Well, I don't know what he's gonna do, but shout out to Drew. He's suspended. Drew, lock in, twin, lock in. And then we have the US Open Challenge, which, you know, I thought, oh, Ciampa finna get his match. Nope. He did not. He got rejected again. But this time it was Johnny Gargano. Match is pretty solid. Can't even lie. But I'm interested to see where that story goes, considering he has both Tama Tonga and now Ciampa going after his title. So maybe Survivor Series we get a triple threat or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then Jade comes out to the ring, say, yo, I'm that guy, and walks off. Like that's literally all she did. She just said, I'm that guy, with a curse word, but, and leaves. And that transition does into Charlotte versus Nia. And Charlotte, who might be your next opponent, who knows, we'll see. Probably not, considering what happens a little later, which we'll get to. But what do they do with this? We had a backstage segment with Jade and BFAB, and they're doing a match between a match between Jade Cargill versus BFAB, presumably for the women's championship. Probably not for the women's championship, just a match in general. At this point, I can't even hate. I can't. They're doing what they can with what they have. They got nobody over there on SmackDown, so we got to do Jade versus BFAB. I gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. I can't even be mad at it. Me a couple months ago, I would have hated it, but at this point, they're doing what they can. But talking about the Charlotte versus Nia match, it was fine. You know, nothing crazy. But at the end, we got Lash Legend from NXT just coming out and just assaulting Alexa Bliss. Like, she got packed up. Like, and it looks like presumably that's setting up War Games, especially considering what happened a little later. They were backstage, you know, medical guy gave him ice, and then we got Asuka doing her best Stone Cold impersonation versus Vince McMahon. But instead of hitting her with a little pan, she spits a little mist at her. It was hilarious. That was the funniest moment of the night. But yeah, it looks like that's gonna be the War Games. Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Kabuki Warriors, and presumably Becky Lynch. Probably that's the only other heel superstar I can think of that will work. Versus Rio, Charlotte and Alexa, and like whoever the fifth is, either AJ Lee, Bailey, Lyra, Stephanie. I don't know who that fifth name is going to be, but that's probably going to be the women's War Games. Overall, sounds pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. Not War Games. I'm excited for that one. That's gonna be a banger. But then we had an announcement for the next matches on SmackDown next week for the John Cena tournament. It's Miz versus Jey Uso, which, okay, something different. But the one I want to talk about is LA Knight versus a surprise opponent. Now, first, before I even talk about the surprise, the fact that they're not announcing who it is and it's going to be a surprise means there's a 90% chance LA Knight is finna lose in the first round. And I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. Like, come on, man. Like, why? You couldn't have did this against the Miz or something. You couldn't have just, you know what I mean, put the surprise opponent against like Rusev or, you know what I mean, Shinsuke or something. You gotta be against LA Knight. I don't know, but as for who I think is gonna be, we have a couple super duper long shots, practically impossible, aka Edge and Chris Jericho. Probably not gonna happen. It's definitely not gonna happen. But like, imagine if it was though. So it's most likely gonna be either like Dolph Ziggler or Joe Hendry, maybe even Jeff Hardy, maybe, or it's gonna be someone from TNA. I don't think AAA guys are popular enough to warrant that. Maybe even NXT person, but I think they'll just announce it. I don't think, like, besides like Oba, who they're really gonna do versus LA Knight. So it's most likely gonna be a TNA guy, and who's gonna be someone from TNA. It's most likely gonna be Joe Hendry. He is like Mr. TNA at this point, which, you know, I got no problem with it as long as he doesn't win the whole thing. I have no problem with him being involved in it. But man, LA Knight probably losing in the first round. It's crazy. But then we have the women's US Championship, I already talked about, and then we had Tola Tonga versus Rey Fenix, and once again a pretty solid match. I'm not gonna lie, SmackDown was full of really good matches today. You know, I enjoy when SmackDown is like this. I really, this last week's SmackDown, boring. That was a terrible SmackDown. But this week, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Besides the women's US Championship thing, which I really don't agree with. I don't have a problem with the results. It's just how everything went down and leading up to it. I don't really mess with. But overall, just a great SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, let me know your opinions in the comments. Hope you had a good one. Bye.